In this video, we're going to go through how to do a fusion splice using the FiberFox Mini 6S core alignment fusion splicer. Everything that you're going to need to do your splice is going to come in this protective yellow box. So no need to worry about extra part numbers. Everything you need is right in front of us. The splicer itself, a cleaver, manual strippers, a thermal stripper, alcohol, lint-free fiber wipes, protective sleeve for our fiber, and your fiber. The first step is going to be to load your fiber into the splicer. So we're going to grab one of our strands. We want it to stick out about 1.25 inches. If we've got some memory or a bend in our fiber, we want to make sure to point it downwards so it's still straight. Typically, people would use a manual stripper, which definitely has its purpose. But what FiberFox has is another option in the thermal stripper. We're going to power it on by holding the power button, go to heat mode, not save mode. And for 900 micron fiber, we're going to want it to be on the second heat setting. Using this method, we're going to be able to melt the jacketing off of this fiber and strip it off so that we don't have to use the manual. Place our fiber in there, 2 thumbs down with decent pressure. When we hear that chirp, pull apart. There we have our stripped fiber. From there, we're going to want to clean our fiber up to make sure there's no glue left on the fiber so we can get a clean splice. After we've cleaned it off, we're going to load it in the cleaver. Slides right in. Shut the lid. This button's going to slide the weight across. And this garbage is going to collect our fiber. So there we have one prepped side. Place that back in the splicer, and we're going to repeat the same on the other side. Also, I'm not putting my protective sleeve on at the beginning because I'm working with very short pieces of fiber. But if we're out in the field, we're definitely going to want to remember to put that protective sleeve on before we do our splice. Same step on the other side. Clean that off. And we're ready to put it back in the cleaver now. So we're going to slide it until it hits naturally. Shut the lid, press the button. Now we have 2 sides prepped. Placing that back into our fusion splicer. So it's going to look like that, 2 prepped sides. We're going to close the lid. Here we can see it's multi-mode. It's aligning our fiber properly so that we're going to get a clean splice. I have it on this mode here where it's going to pause before for doing demos like this. But if we want, we can have it set that if we close the door down, it just splices right away. Going to hit set to do the splice. Splice complete, 0.00 dB of loss. 0.0 dB of loss is impossible, we know that, but it's giving us an estimation based off the angle. So this is as good as a splice as we could have done. We're not going to know how much loss has occurred unless we shoot it with a fiber tester. When I lift this up, it's going to do a little pull test, and if it's all good in terms of strength, it's going to say pull OK here at the bottom. Pull OK. The next step is going to be taking the fiber out and heating our protective sleeve. So we're going to take the fiber out. Slide that sleeve down. I'm going to close this lid and it's going to say error looking for fiber end face. We know that we have the fiber in our hand. Then we're going to use this oven in the back, place our fiber in there with the sleeve, shut the door, hit our cook button. This is a timer based off of how big our protective sleeve is. Depending on the environment we're working in, if it's cold outside, maybe we're going to want to cook it more than just once. But that's something you can do as you go. There we have our splice. We can let it cool off on the cooling tray while we prep our next piece. Thank you.